Okay, so we have the Solstice summon come with these new heroes, featured ones. They claim 50% better chance to get legendary hero, which means if I go here, that 3.6 they're showing for legendary heroes, that has increased by 50%. This point 2 point 0.2 used to be 0.1, so that has increased. And yeah, the legendary hero of the month is the same. Or maybe there must be some small tweak. Uh, oh, it's easy to find out. Let's look over here. Legendary is the same. La la la, la la la. Yeah, so that's how they claim 50%. But we all know how the odds work. You could do one pull and land the featured, or you could do 1,000 pulls and not land anybody. So, having said that, let's look at what this fellow is about. So, he's a dark, legendary, featured Phantom of the Opera fight class. So, this talent gives an opportunity to revive. So, he can be painful despite being killed by reviving. Opera family bonus for 1 and 2 heroes. I think there are currently 2, so they have kept it at 2, which is good, but at least it wall 1. So depending on the number of heroes, there is an attack, defense, and HP bonus of 5 and 10%. There is a passive. This character receives 10% health each time a status ailment expires or is cleansed, removed, or relocated. So cleansed we already know, removed we already know. Relocated is we have these various minions or we have this reflect. So that's the relocation part. This effect can activate only once per turn. So basically per turn you're going to get 10% each time blah happens. If suppose multiple of these blahs happen as a combo, only once per turn. So when the turn changes, this can happen again. Going into the stats, 933 attack, 920 defense, and 1670 health. This is, I think, 2025 stats, or maybe the second half of 2024 stats that have arrived in the game, because we're just reaching 900. No, actually, the beginning of 2024, I should say. We still have about 6 months. So, Ballad of Obsession at average speed deals 405 damage to the target and nearby enemies. That's high. Target and nearby enemies dance to the Ballad of Obsession for 4 turns. All existing status effects will be removed when this effect is added. So whether there is an ailment or whether there is a buff, any status effect will be removed from the enemies. Oh no, target and nearby enemies, not all enemies, sorry. Target and nearby enemies. Now when the Ballad of Obsession starts, what happens? This applies to the target. This applies to the target and nearby enemies. They get minus 40 mana generation, minus 40 decrease of any healing received, gives immunity to new status effects, which means any status effect in the form of buffs or advantage will be blocked, whether it is coming from any source like a passive or your allies or something like that, or element link or whatever. And this can't be dispelled. An effect is removed when the caster dies. So if Phantom of the Opera dies, then whatever is the ailment on the opposite side, it just gets removed. So because he is like a cousin of Gazelle, but he gives ailment to the opposite enemies, target and nearby enemies, and not buff to the allies like Gazelle gives. So innovative hero, I would say damn good hero. Quite a few, the usual chasers are going to chase and ensure that this fellow is leveled and on the defense, because he would be brilliant on both defense and offense. You can clearly see that. Plus, one thing that goes really in his favor for being used on defense is being a fighter class. So anybody who has a possibility, an ability, or anything that can create a revive becomes very useful there. So yep, that's that. Good hero. Let's go to this chick. Ice hero Odette. Paladin, which means she has a good opportunity to have enhanced defense through the talent class. We know what this does. We also have an idea of what this does. Going into the stats, 873 attack, 945 defense, and 1753 health. So huge. Tanky, even though that Phantom of the Opera is also designed fairly tanky. Only the health part is a little bit on the downside, which it doesn't matter because of his damaging capability. So Dance of the Swan at average speed is the special. Caster regenerates 609 HP over 3 turns, which is something similar to the basic regular version of Gazelle. The caster gets plus 45 chance to dodge special skills that deal damage for 3 turns. So there is a safety apart from the defense that has been built, apart from the healing, which has been built into the original hero, that is Odette. Because she does something. She casts Dance of the Swan to all allies, but not her, and hence the above 2 is to protect her for 3 turns. All existing status effects will be removed when this effect is added, which means any buff, any ailment on allies will be immediately removed, just like Gazelle does. Dance of the Swan, when activates, allies get plus 45 chance to dodge attacks and special skills, 50% chance to deal 360 damage to a random enemy after any subsequent allied special skill is cast. So any of the 4 allies of Odette who are going through the Dance of the Swan, they can dodge, and they have a 50% chance to do Guardian Hippo kind of a thing, to give a 360 whack if any of the 4 allies uses special skills. And this 50% is more often than not, as we tested it. It gives immunity to new status effect, which is again what Gazelle does. There is no status effect in the form of ailments or buffs, and this can't be dispelled, and the effect is removed when the caster dies. So when Odette dies, this is removed from all the allies, but the allies are not penalized like Gazelle is penalized. Both versions. Moment she dies, allies lose all their mana, and plus they get a whack. So excellent hero, very useful hero, more strong than Gazelle. I mean, whoever gets her will have something very unique happening. So yeah, that's the benefit. Gazelle has her massive use. The buff is insane. And as you know, I use Gazelle along with Arco, and it's just amazing. Even if Arco fires once, that minion that is added adds to the I would say HP on Gazelle. So Gazelle stays protected, keeps providing the buff, and the costume version keeps healing also, and it's really tough. For the opposite side, especially on offense, I don't use her on defense, but on offense, absolutely amazing. But this chick will be useful because of the dodge, which she carries herself and heals herself, and there is no penalty. She would be very useful even on defense. So yeah, both these heroes are excellent on offense and defense. Yeah, so that's that. Damn good heroes. So in case you've already pulled, congratulations. And if you're going for it, all the best. Cheers. See you in the next video.